What is going on, guys? Big Juicy Pickle here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. This is the third week of Metal Mondays being a thing. There's going to be many more. Today we have kind of a special video. It's going to be the top 10 worst black metal crimes. Number 10, church burnings. Black metal and church burnings are like peanut butter and jelly. They become so synonymous with each other that the most casual of discussions about the genre will rarely go without a mention of anti-religious arson. Musicians and fans of the Norwegian black metal scene alone took part in over 50 arsons of Christian churches from 1992 to 1996. Burzum mastermind Varg Vikernes was convicted of 4 church burnings, including that of the Fantoft Stave Church, an 11th century national landmark whose loss galvanized Norwegians. He later used a picture of the burned church for the cover of his EP Aske. English translation to that is Ash. Samuth, guitarist of Emperor, was sentenced to 16 months in jail after being convicted of church arson in Norway. Jorn Tunsberg, guitarist of Hades, was also convicted of burning down a church in Norway and spent 2 years in prison. Faust, drummer of Emperor, traveled to a chapel with Euronymous of Mayhem and Varg Vikernes of Burzum with the intention of bombing the chapel. When the homemade bomb they put on the altar refused to detonate, they soaked the Bibles in gasoline and lit them on fire, burning the church to the ground. Church burnings have been praised by many black metal musicians, perhaps most famously by Ghoul of Gorgoroth. During an interview with Sam Dunn in the documentary Metal: A Headbanger's Journey, stating, "Church burnings and all things are, of course, things that I support 100%, and it should have been done much more and will be done much more in the future. We have to remove every trace from what Christianity and Semitic roots have to offer this world." Hey, we found a match. Nice. Number 9, Ghoul. Shining vocalist Ghoul has been legendary for his disturbing behavior. His collection of scars from thousands of self-inflicted cuts, misanthropic views, and claims that some listeners have actually committed suicide under the influence of Shining's music have captivated listeners for 15 years and 6 albums of suicidal black metal.
Bravo team.
Ghoul disappeared in July 2006, and rumors spread that he too had committed suicide. On August 23rd, 2006, the band posted a statement on their website that they would continue with a new singer named Nicholas as one of requested by Ghoul as one of his final wishes. At the concert that took place on February 3rd, 2007 at Diesel in Helmstad, Ghoul was revealed to be the new vocalist. At that concert, razor blades had been handed to the audience, and Ghoul was reported to have abused some of the guest vocalists. Number 8, Gorgoroth's Black Mass. On February 1st, 2004, during a recorded DVD concert in Poland, the legendary Norwegian band Gorgoroth displayed sheep heads on stakes, satanic symbols, a bloodbath using 80 liters of sheep's blood, and 4 naked crucified models on the stage. A police investigation took place with allegations of religious offense and cruelty to animals. Though these charges were considered to be though these charges were considered, the band was not charged because they claimed to not know that any of this was illegal. Gotta be a lie, dude. I've heard that story before. It actually may have been in the 10 Incredible Metal Facts episode 1. I think it was. I'm not sure. But I've heard that before, and that cannot be true that they didn't know that was illegal. I mean, they had crucified models on stage. That alone is obviously illegal. Number 7. Mayhem vocalist Dead found dead. On April 8th, 1991, 22-year-old Mayhem vocalist Dead committed suicide in the house owned by the band. He was found by Euronymous with slit wrists and a shotgun round to the head. Suicide note left by Dead merely read, "Excuse all the blood, cheers," and included an apology for firing the weapon indoors. Upon finding the body of his bandmate, Euronymous, instead of calling the police, went to a nearby store and bought a disposable camera to photograph the body. One of these photographs was later stolen and used as the cover of a bootleg live album entitled Dawn of the Black Hearts. Although suicide technically is illegal, that is not the reason why it made the list of worst black metal crimes. The reason why is because it is said that Euronymous had cannibalized his deceased friend, making a stew with pieces of Dead's brain. Euronymous also reportedly made necklaces with fragments of Dead's skull, and only gave the necklaces to the musicians that he felt were worthy of owning it. Number 6. Oh, this one looks like a fun one. Jeff Whitehead charged with sexually assaulting his girlfriend with a tattoo gun. Why? Just why? Honestly, that's my only question, is why? Number 6 is the most recent crime of this list, which was allegedly committed in January of 2011. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, multiple instrumentalist Jeff Whitehead was accused of raping his girlfriend using tattoo tools while working as a guest artist at Taylor Street Tattoo in Chicago. Jeff Whitehead, 42 years old, allegedly choked and beat his 26-year-old girlfriend unconscious by banging her head against a wall in the early hours of January 8th. When she regained consciousness and discovered she had been sexually assaulted with the tattoo tools, Whitehead then allegedly knocked her out again. When Whitehead's girlfriend regained consciousness again, she found herself lying on the street outside the parlor. A heavily bearded and tattooed Whitehead was dressed all in black as he appeared before Judge Israel Zerto Sunday morning, wearing a hooded sweater with the words "Stop the Madness" printed on it. He was ordered to be held on bail of $350,000. He has yet to be convicted or sentenced. Whitehead, aka Rest, is a highly regarded black metal musician who collaborated with Sun O and I'm going to try to pronounce this, Noctmistium, and is a member of the band Twilight alongside Aaron Turner, N Imperial, Blake Judd, Stavros Giannopoulos, and Sanford Parker. Number 5. Stalag abducted mental patients for Project Misanthropia. Stalag were a black metal and experimental noise group who took their name from the German word Stalag, which was a World War II concentration camp. The extra G and H stand for Global Holocaust. In an anonymous interview, the collective claimed that the real names and faces of the members involved will never be revealed and they will never perform live. Stalag have found a small cult-like fan base due to the fact that they actually have mental patients do the vocals for their albums. One particular guest vocalist was locked away for brutally stabbing his own mother over 30 times to death at the age of 16. One of the musicians was almost murdered by another mental patient who reportedly had uncontrollable homicidal urges during the recording process. According to the band, sounds of the attempted murder were caught on tape. Allegedly, one of Stalag collective worked at the mental institution where they acquired their guest vocalists. Through this connection, they were able to abduct 7 patients for the recording of Project Misanthropia.
Zone B lost.
Collective stated the reasoning for recording the mental patients
Enemy captured Zone B.
is because the band really wanted the hatred and painful emotions to be real and truly felt. Fun stuff, man. Fun stuff. Now, if you guys are mainly here for the gameplay, I'm sorry that, like, sometimes I'm getting distracted and not actually playing. It's because I'm reading this stuff off of my tablet while playing, and sometimes I'll just start reading. Number 4. Silencer's Natram attacks 5-year-old with axe. Fun. This next crime has been widely debated as to whether it is a fact or a black metal urban legend. Natram of Swedish black metal outfit Silencer has been the subject of many rumors, such as cutting off his own hands during a recording, only to personally sew pig's feet onto his bloody stumps. The rumor was created by the circulation of this photo to the right, which is one of the only known photographs of Natram. His face has never been revealed. This guy needs help. The story may not be as bizarre as the last one, but it's much more disturbing. Allegedly, Natram randomly drove an axe into the skull of a 5-year-old girl in 2001, failing to kill her by mere millimeters. As police arrived on the scene, he attempted to commit suicide by shouting, "Kill me, kill me," with the axe still in his hands. The cops distracted Natram using police dogs, while another officer snuck up behind the crazed musician and brought him down. Natram was committed to the Vaxjo psychiatric ward, where he stayed for the next 5 years. Natram was offered to write and record music as therapy and rehabilitation during 1 year, project he named Diagnose Lebensgefahr. Number 3. Faust of Emperor stabs gay man to death. Bard G. Faust Ethan, former drummer for second wave black metal pioneers Emperor, was convicted for the murder of Magne Andresen, a gay man, by fatally stabbing him in Lillehammer, Norway on August 21st, 1992. Faust was sentenced to 14 years imprisonment, but was released in 2003 after serving 9 years and 4 months. After his release, Faust has avoided anti-criminal activity and is presently drumming for Scum and Blood Tsunami, while acting as the main lyricist for Zyklon. Fact number 2. Ghoul's assault and torture convictions. For those of you playing at home, this is the 3rd time former Gorgoroth vocalist Ghoul has been mentioned in this top 10 list. And why shouldn't he be? This time, however, he did much more than advocating the burning down of churches or playing Hannibal Lecter with a glass of wine. In 2002, Ghoul was fined $26,963 and sentenced to 1 year in prison without the possibility of parole after an episode of violence where he assaulted and tortured a 40-year-old man for several hours at a party. I wanted to leave, the alleged victim told the court. What I did was react verbally to a situation which I perceived as threatening. When the 40-year-old man tried to leave the party, the defendant allegedly blocked the exit by standing in the doorway. Immediately after that, the alleged victim felt a hard hit on the back of his head.
Zone B lost.
He said, "From the moment I got hit, thought to myself that this was the end. It was as if I could view the whole situation from the outside. Now I'm dying." The 40-year-old told the court of increased use of violence as the night progressed. He claimed to have no recollection of how long it took for the entire episode to transpire, but he indicated that it seemed to last for a very long time. The victim also claimed that Ghoul began to collect the man's blood in a cup, adding that Ghoul threatened to consume the blood, quoting, "I'm going to sacrifice you. I'm going to drink your blood." During his sentencing, the court wrote that Ghoul's use of violence was extremely raw and brutal, adding that there was no clear motive for the assault. Under normal circumstances, Ghoul's previous conviction would have carried a sentence of 90 days in prison, but due to the severity of the crime, the singer was sentenced to 12 months behind bars. During his court appearance, Ghoul was reportedly dressed in black and wore a plethora of satanic symbols. Ghoul spent another 9 months and was fined $190,000, or no, $32,424. In 2006, for torturing another man for 6 hours. Ghoul maintains that he was acting in self-defense, claiming, "I was the one who was attacked, but they think I punished him too hard. As I always say, when people cross my line, then I will be the one to decide what their punishment will be." Seems reasonable to an extent, I guess. Like, okay, not really, but I mean, number 1. On August 10th, 1993, Burzum mastermind Varg Vikernes traveled from Bergen to Oslo to meet Mayhem guitarist Euronymous. What would ensue that night would become the most discussed, debated, interpreted, and infamous crime in the history of black metal. A confrontation occurred in the apartment of Euronymous, resulting in Vikernes brutally murdering him by stabbing him a total of 23 times. 2 to the head, 5 to the neck, and 16 to the back. The true nature of the murder has been variously described as a power struggle between rival leaders of a satanic circle, a conflict over a girl's affection, or a dispute over a record contract. Vikernes himself contends that he planned to kill him and that he was striking first in self-defense. On the night of the murder, Vikernes claims he intended to hand he planned to hand Euronymous the signed contract and tell him to F off, but that Euronymous attacked him first. Additionally, Vikernes defends that most of his cut wounds were caused by broken glass that he had fallen on during the struggle, rather than multiple stab wounds. After the slaying, Vikernes drove to a nearby lake to dispose of his bloodied clothes before returning to Bergen. Vikernes was sentenced to 21 years in prison, the maximum sentence in Norway. The moment the verdict was read, Varg reacted with a devious and evil grin, an image that has been iconic within metal circles. Well guys, that's gonna be it for the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did like the video, if you liked the video, like the video. If you hated it, like the video. If you don't care, like the video. Subscribe if you're new. This has been Big Juicy Pickle. Goodbye.